Wir haben ja in Kapitel 3 aufgehört. Du musstest kurz bevor ich aus dem Wald ging, musstest du weg. Ist der Ton überhaupt in Ordnung mit so leicht etwas leiserer Musik gerade? Ich hoffe. Auf jeden Fall, du musstest weg, als wir kurz davor waren, aus dem Wald zu kommen. Und vor dem Wald stehend habe ich aufgehört. Und da fangen wir wieder an. Du hast also wortwörtlich nichts verpasst. Genau. Die konnte man nochmal. Ah ja, so konnte man auch noch gehen. Muss ich lauter machen oder geht das so? Der Kanada, der mir antworten kann, ey. Alles muss man selber machen, ey. Der war nur für Monkey Island hier. Der dachte, ich fange jetzt hier an, Monkey Island 3 zu spielen oder so. 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 Habe ich mal lauter gemacht. Weil Logo wieder abwesend ist. Wieder aufwacht. Na dann. So, ja. Die haben ein bisschen mehr Leben, glaube ich, als die alten. Ich habe vergessen, welche Attacken gegen was gut sind in diesem Spiel. Das wird ja nicht angezeigt. Okay, das hat Damage gemacht. Also wir haben keinen. Oh nein, sie ist tot. Um Charakter im Kampf wieder zu beleben, benötigst du einen Wiederbeleber. Nach dem Kampf werden kampfunfähige Charaktere mit 1 KP wiederbelebt. Okay, dann brauche ich den ja jetzt nicht wirklich, ne? Ja, trotzdem ein Level up gehabt. Für einen Charakter kannst du maximal 4 Skills festlegen. Wähle auf dem Menübildschirm Formation und dann Skills aus, um deine Skills für den Kampf festzulegen. Möchtest du deine Skills anpassen? Aber bitte. Verursacht Blitzschaden in Höhe des Angriffs an allen Gegnern. Ja, alle Gegner sind natürlich auch nicht schlecht. So. Leben haben sie auch alle wieder. Okay. Ereignis!
The wind picks up speed. A tornado is forming.
Der Würfel wird darüber entscheiden, ob du in der Gefahr entkommst. Du benötigst mindestens eine 4. 4!
You anticipate the tornado's path correctly and avoid getting swept up.
Koexistia.
Unionville first, shall we?
Aber warum? Küstenstadt ist auch cool. Wer sagt, dass ich überhaupt in irgendeine von den beiden Richtungen will? Ereignis!
A bizarre rock appeared. It seems primed to explode.
Je nachdem, was du würfelst, wird sich der Brocken nach der Explosion in etwas anderes verwandeln.
The bizarre rock transformed into a fear rock. The only way out of this fight is through it.
Oh oh. Die Pfeile haben nichts gebracht. Feuer. Gift, was ist damit? Feuer gegen Feuer? Immerhin 2 Schaden als Crit. Okay, dann machen wir mal einen normalen Schwertstreich. Hat auch 2 Schaden gemacht. Au. Aber immerhin tut Gift ein bisschen Damage machen, ne? Oh, Eis ist er weak gegen. Okay. Na gut, hätte ich mir eigentlich auch denken können. Keine Beute entkommt. Verursacht +3 Schaden, wenn das Ziel von einem Zustand betroffen ist. Aber auch so ein Zustand.
You can't go in there. That's the
Fischlose Hafenstadt.
The harbor is closed today. Anyone seeking shoreline should move 3 spaces to the southeast.
Die Küstenstadt. Also, das ist nicht die Küstenstadt, das ist die fischlose Hafenstadt.
Look, you two, it's the sea, Britus exclaims, frolicking in glee. You, on the other hand, trudge along as far as you can from the coast, ignoring the hair sticking to your forehead. Feeling something at your feet, you glance down. There's something underneath your boot. It appears you've stepped on a monster's cape, making it very upset.
Wow.
It attacks you in fury.
Nett. Au. 245. Dieser Kampf tritt zu Beginn jeder Runde ein Ereignis ein. 2 Juwelen, ja, nehme ich. Wobei. Wieso macht er direkt mehr Schaden als Leben? Ups. Wieso? Na, egal. Abwehr. Eins. Immerhin. So, eigentlich wollte ich gucken, ob ich hier einen Wiederbeleber habe. Yay, mehr Abwehr. Geht doch. Wieso greifen die immer sie an? Und sie ist wieder tot. Ja, heilen wir uns erstmal. Erhöht die Heilung aller Mitstreiter. Danke. Kann der mal aufhören, die zu töten? Arschteuer das Ding. Den haben wir schon 3-mal Wiederbeleber benutzt. Wow. Hey, noch hat sie überlebt. Sehr schön. Kann man sie natürlich auch heilen. Wow. Wieso geht das eigentlich immer ganz raus? Hat wir nicht gerade noch einen neuen Skill bekommen? Er hat auch keinen neuen Skill. Hä? Talente? Wow, direkt wieder ein Kampf.
And fight.
Achso, das ist ein. Achso, die hatte nur 3 Dinger, deswegen hat sie jetzt 4. Ah, okay. Das ergibt natürlich Sinn. Du, 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 du. Du hast die Bedingungen erfüllt für den Rückseitentext der Karte Waffenschleimling. Okay. Du, 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 du.
Don't hold back.
Ich hätte den anderen angreifen sollen. Du, 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 du. Mag den Baum nicht. So, jetzt will jetzt der weg. Ah. Wow, 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 wow. Ich frage mich gerade, ob es eine gute Idee ist, überhaupt in die Richtung zu gehen. Weil wir sollen ja erstmal ganz woanders hin eigentlich, aber okay. Okay, das hat Damage gemacht.
Excellent. That was lucky.
Ereignis.
Pick up a scrap of paper dropped by some manner of monster. It has a message scrawled on it in crude lettering.
Gestohlenen Schatz. Gegenüber von Hafen, wo man Meer sieht.
Clearly, whoever dropped this, you stashed the scrap of paper in your pack and resolved to keep an eye out for the treasure on your travels.
Gegenüber Hafen. Staubiger Turm betreten. Nein, noch nicht. Da müssen wir sicher noch mal irgendwann hin für der Quest. Aber wir wissen schon, wo er ist. Oh je.
Nice work.
Immerhin, Hälfte abgezogen.
Nice work.
Der Game Master würfelt. Lehren des Waldvolks. Verleiht Immunität gegenüber dem Gift- und Toxinstatus. Okay. Feindkraft an! Geld! Ja. Wow. Ich habe ein Item gefunden. Jeden Wiederbeleber. Gut, dass wir vorhin viele Wiederbeleber verbraucht haben. Und wir haben den Rückseitentext von Oga bekommen. Erhöht den Wasserschaden aller Kämpfer. Wie gut, dass der Wasserschaden macht, wa? So. Gegenüber Hafenstadt, wo man das Meer sieht, aber irgendwie ist hier nichts. Außer 3 Fische. Genau, 2 Damage beim Gift.
That was lucky.
Ey, kann ich einfach wieder die Leute umbringen hier. WB-Logo.
That was lucky.
Logo, wie ist die Lautstärke? Jetzt, wo du anwesend bist.
As you make your way to the coast, a piece of paper, nearly smacks you in the face as it blows past. It depicts a woman standing before a sunset. She smiles. Examining the background of the picture closely, you spot a lighthouse in the distance. Written on the other side of the paper is a single word. My darling dearest, I give you my love, my treasure, my everything. The only word you need to see, really. Treasure. Certain you'll come across it in your travels, you stuff the picture into your pack for safekeeping. You journey onward, only to see a suspicious-looking elder appear before you, a bottle of medicine dangling from his waist. He proclaims himself a man of medicine who has discovered a revolutionary new curative. He would have one of your party drink it as a test. There's no harm in trying it, he boldly claims. Well?
Arznei trinken lassen? Ich bin so doof.
The stranger at his word and drink one of the bottles dry. You feel a strange sensation in your chest. It's actually rather pleasant. You sense an as yet unknown power is soon to reveal itself to you. The doctor of sorts is positively giddy with excitement at his success. It seems whoever quaffs this brew gains access to special powers.
Feuerschwall. Nice. Und ich dachte, es kommt wieder so ein Ding, warum vertraust du irgendwelchen Strangern? Hier hast du sonst was für ein Problem oder so. Oh nee. Scheinbar ist okay. Treasure. Das ist der perfekte Auftritt für meinen Feuerschwall gleich. Ja. Eigentlich wollte ich ja zu dieser Stadt, wo wir hin sollen. Aber irgendwie ist die hier gerade nicht. Positiv ist, du trainierst. Geht so, ne? So, jetzt haben wir die Rückseite von dem Trend, also den Bäumen. Der Feind! Oh je.
And fight.
Deck ja eh alles erstmal auf, ne? Wollte jetzt nur nicht zu weit weitergehen, als ich vorhin bei den Bergen rumlatschte. Okay, alles wird Krits.
Fortune favors the bold. Nice work. That was lucky. Uh-oh.
Yay, Finstergoblin. Und ein Wiederbeleber. Ereignis.
An armor-clad knight stands, exuding an extraordinarily powerful aura.
Aha.
The knight faces you and asks, "Might you be challengers?" But after sizing you up for a long moment, his shoulders slump and he mutters, "No, you are not yet ready. Grow strong, young ones," he says, then returns to standing in silence. It appears he awaits a stalwart warrior to challenge him.
Logo. Ich habe vorhin gefragt, ob das so in Ordnung ist. Da warst du erst nicht da und dann hast du gesagt, passt. Wortwörtlich hatte ich da gerade ein Ereignis, wo eine Stimme war, Logo. Ganz ehrlich. Du bist komisch. Auf eine unlustige Art und Weise. Tja, was macht man so, wenn man keinen Kaffee trinkt, keine Drogen nimmt und nicht sein Geld auf Partys ausgibt? Was macht man da so, Logo? Und Döner ist doch auch nicht, ey. Du bist da, das ist doch nicht normal. Was ist mit dir? Du bist komisch. Tja, den Gedanken hast du nicht zu Ende gedacht. Ding, ding.
That was lucky. You did great.
Also ein bisschen was zum Aufdecken. Aber gucken wir mal kurz, wo wir überhaupt noch mal hin sollten. Nach oben war ich ja das doch richtig. Ja, die einzigen paar Felder, die nicht aufgedeckt wurden, ne? Rein da.
You see something approaching from up ahead. A monster, Melanie shouts, readying for battle. Mr. Flobby, get back here. It's dangerous out there, a young girl chides, taking the creature back to the village.
Das ist doch nicht etwa Puyo aus Puyo Puyo. Da sieht man wieder, die englische Sprachausgabe in diesem Spiel ist komisch, weil Puyo ist ja eindeutig eine Referenz an Puyo Puyo. Hier was mit den Glibberviechern bei Tetris gedöns da.
It seems you've finally arrived at Unionville, a village where humans and monsters live together in peace. What a weird place, remarks Riddis lightheartedly. I like it. We aren't staying a moment longer than necessary, says an unsettled Melanie, her distaste for monsters plain on her face.
Frage die Bewohner von Koexistia nach Informationen über den Drachen. Kennt der Kutscher den Weg?
Welcome. 100 gold pieces will get you wherever you're headed. The masters, you will be instantly transported to any location you've previously visited. Travel for 100 gold pieces?
Tatsächlich können wir jetzt in die ganzen Städte wieder. Die Kutscher haben ja vorher nicht funktioniert.
Any travelers with magical little critters can stay for free, the innkeeper. It appears the headman's long-standing pronouncement on the welcoming of all magical creatures also applies to you and your party.
So, haben wir das erstmal. Und dann gucken wir doch mal, können wir neue Waffen kaufen? Das ist auf jeden Fall ein besseres Schwert. Was haben sie noch so hier? Andere Dinge. So, der könnte auch was Neues kriegen, aber momentan ist er nicht in der Party. Also holen wir erstmal für die anderen, die drin sind. Ah, den hat er schon. Den hat sie schon. Und sie braucht das noch. Schütznerring. Und der Rest ist gegen die Elemente. Aber hier können wir auch den Damage erhöhen. Mit diesen. Ja, hat ja auch +1 da. Ah, ich würde sagen, lasse ich aber erstmal. So.
The woman frowns deeply, claiming the cakes she bought for her beloved furball have all been eaten by someone else. A quiet furball sits with crumbs around its mouth.
Ob der das gegessen hat?
The child says his monster friend left the village suddenly to go back home. He claims the headman told him that he could go home when he grew up too. The little orc child pouts, but I don't know where my home is.
Das ist natürlich schlecht.
You ask the old man if he knows anything about the dragon. No, sir, he answers. All I know is that it brings more trouble to this already troubled world. But our headman is a wise and worldly man. He might know something, he remarks, pointing at a house not far away.
Frage den Bürgermeister von Koexistenz nach Informationen über den Drachen.
The little goblin sulks as he gazes upon the withering flowers he tried so desperately to take care of. He looks at you with tears in his eyes, silently begging you for help.
Möchtest du ihm etwas geben, das der Blume wieder auf die Beine hilft? Heiterkeit vielleicht?
Pour the salve onto the flowers and they stand up tall.
Offenbar hast du Glück, denn die Blume erwacht zum Leben, ja.
The goblin cries out in happiness and thanks you for your help. He then holds something out to you.
Komische Karte 5. Mysteriöse Karte meine ich.
The goblin stares lovingly at the beautiful flowers and gobbles them up. Healthy flowers are the tastiest, he proclaims in glee. Did he grow those flowers just to eat them?
Warum nicht? Vegetarier halt, ne?
A young boy wanders up to your group in wide-eyed wonder. You surmise his curiosity stems from the lack of travelers visiting the village. You realize you are right when he assails you with questions about your origins and adventures. The Inquisition leaves you exhausted.
Okay. Da du die Bedingung erfüllt hast, wurde dir Rückseitentext der Karte naiver Junge hinzugefügt. Ja, Logo, bist du auch ein naiver Junge?
However, does your mouth become so filthy, Mr. Flobby? Sighs the girl as she wipes the slime clean. Clearly embarrassed, Mr. Flobby murmurs, "That's not my mouth."
Das ist mein Popo. Also ist sein Arsch immer dreckig.
The little orc child is engrossed in a fairy tale. The title reads, "The Legend of the Dragon."
Was könnte es damit auf sich haben?
You take a peek into the picture book and come across a passage that piques your interest.
Nachdem der Drache von der königlichen Armee besiegt wurde, wurde er an einem gewissen Ort gefangen gehalten.
Where, you wonder? Then recall that this is merely a fairy tale. The village headman is a renowned gourmet, and rumor has it he only dines on the finest foods.
Ich sehe schon kommen, der wird uns auf eine Jagd nach einem Tier, was besondere Spezialität zubereitet ist, schicken.
The man says he wishes he too could have such a lavish meal just once in his life. His deep desire for delicacies only growing with time.
Gewöhnlicher Mann. Ich bin auch ein gewöhnlicher Mann.
Wow, a new friend, and so big too. The furball. Mar stares off into the distance as the furball snuggles up to his leg. For some reason, Riddis joins in on the cuddling. Lately, a suspicious man cloaked in black has been seen wandering about the village outskirts. The old woman looks at Melanie and remarks that he was dressed just like her.
Okay. Vielleicht ein Kollege von ihr oder so? Der sture Logo. Logo ist stur.
Travelers, you hear a voice call from somewhere. Down here, at thy feet, you look down to see a small clump of fur by your boots. The clump of fur speaks. I am Lappy, and I should like to journey forth with thee. Lappy the furball looks at you with amiable expectations.
Warum denn?
Why do you want to join us? You ask candidly. I heard a voice calling my name, so I must find to whom it belongs, he answers with a faraway gaze. No more monsters, comes Melanie's cold reply. When you say more, do you mean Mar? You ask, but Melanie doesn't answer. Thoroughly rejected by Melanie, Lappy bursts into tears. Lappy says he has no friends because of his aged face and speech. All alone, he decided to leave the village on a journey. Your party is silenced by the crying child with the face of a grown man. You tell Melanie to be nice and quip that both she and Lappy could use a friend. Exhausted from arguing with you, Melanie half-heartedly agrees. Fine, we can be friends. However, she says that they are on a dangerous journey to defeat the dragon. As such, they cannot take a child with them. Lappy leaps up and hugs her in his excitement, exclaiming, "Thou hast made me so happy."
Irgendwie haben sich Chloe und Perlin tatsächlich angefreundet.
Till next time, Melanie says, peeling Lappy off of her and placing him on the ground. Though she thought all monsters to be evil, Melanie feels that the ones here are different. Finally, a friend.
Ja, wir wollten zum Bürgermeister eigentlich.
You bow, but before you can speak, the man suddenly introduces himself as the village headman. He laughs, then shamelessly praises his own village as being wondrous and peaceful. "And who are you?" he asks.
Wir sind heldenhafte Drachenschlecht.
After explaining that you are on a quest to defeat the dragon, the headman invites you to rest your feet a bit in his village. He says that he had heard rumors of the dragon when he traveled the world. You must be tired from your journey. Have a seat. I will have my chef prepare a feast, the headman says, then claps his hands twice to summon a stewardess. Extravagant dishes that you have never seen before are placed on the table before you, each one looking more delicious than the last. You're drooling, Melanie scowls. You hadn't even noticed. You wipe your mouth with your sleeve, then gasp as you turn to Mar. Perhaps in an attempt to hold himself back, Mar is gnawing on the table corner. There, we'll eat soon, you reassure Mar while gently stroking his head. The doors fly open in the next instant, and a girl runs in. With tears in her eyes, she tells you that her dear companion Mr. Flobby the Slime is missing. The headman's eyes go wide in surprise. We must find that slime right away, he says anxiously. You are starving, but it doesn't look like you'll be able to partake of the feast before you because of Mr. Flobby's disappearance. We will find your slime, and then we feast, you add quietly. Melanie reminds you that you are here to get clues about the dragon from the headman. What's the difference? Literally everything. Hunger taking its toll, you two begin to argue. Brave heroes, the headman interjects, then bows his head. Would you please find her slime? It appears the story has hit a standstill until you find the missing Mr. Flobby. You need to hear the whole story from the young girl.
Hör dir an, was das Mädchen in Koexistenz, das mit Puyo befreundet ist, zu sagen hat. Da ist er.
The girl sobs, wailing about the missing Mr. Flobby. Melanie places her hand atop the girl's head and promises that your party will find her companion. The girl then hands something to Melanie. It looks like the muddy handkerchief she used to wipe Mr. Flobby. She asks Melanie to wipe Mr. Flobby with it after you find him. Regardless, looking aimlessly outside the village would be a waste of time. You decide to collect more information in the village.
Sammle in Koexistenz Informationen über den Verbleib von Puyo.
She says she saw a suspicious man in black with a slime outside the village not long ago.
Meinst du etwa den komischen Mann, der aussieht wie Chloe?
She claims they went northwest together. Did that man take Mr. Flobby? You resolve to leave the village in search of the pair.
Begib dich von Koexistenz aus in den Nordwesten. Nordwesten. Wo könnte man wohl hin müssen?
Though a torch is not strictly necessary, it would certainly help you find your way through the dimly lit shrine.
Suche beim namenlosen Schrein nach Puyo.
Your footing is obscured in the dimness of the shrine. You should probably proceed with caution. Though you go forth slowly but steadily, taking it one step at a time. You take a good look at the floor and see it lined in trails of viscous liquid. No doubt a slime or 200 have passed through here. It looks like poor Mr. Flobby is being held captive by the Mystery Man. Hand over that slime, you shout to the man in the dark. You speak as if I kidnapped him, he remarks, curtly turning to face you. When your eyes finally adjust to the surrounding darkness, you realize the man's clothes look eerily similar to Melanie's. Melanie's mouth falls open in surprise. It seems the man has noticed Melanie as well. It looks like the two know each other. According to the man, he and Melanie came from the same village and are far from strangers. The man's revelation makes you realize that you know almost nothing about Melanie's past. You ask Melanie about her hometown, but she holds her tongue. Then the man speaks.
Die Hintergrundmusik gerade ist wieder nicht schlecht.
With forbidden magic, our clan has ensured the dragon, he begins, when Melanie cuts in. She rattles on about the man, telling you that he is Vince, a lunatic obsessed with the dragon.
Ah, sie heißt Chloe und er heißt Cole.
Vince resentfully claims that he is searching for the noble dragon to protect it. You ran away from home with your tail between your legs, he ridicules. Enraged, Melanie lunges at Vince. You have so many questions, but realize that the most pressing matter is getting Mr. Flobby back. So you ready for battle? Careful, he won't go down easy.
100! Okay. Okay, weniger Wasserschaden. Vergiften wir ihn auch einfach mal. Oh, Angriffskarte erhöht.
During the fight, Vince asks, "Do you know the truth about that village?" The headman may look like a nice old man, but he keeps those little monsters around too. He begins, but before he can finish, Winifred, Hedwin, and Berwin of the Ivory Order appear. The three brush you aside, fixing their attention on Vince. "So you are the one who disturbs the peace," they exclaim, then charge at him. The Ivory Order and that false justice they serve are the true evil here, he retaliates, fighting back. Seeing the two parties occupied with each other, you realize this is your chance to grab Mr. Flobby.
Hilf Puyo!
Perhaps wary of humans, Mr. Flobby dashes out when you draw near.
Das ist schon ungewöhnlich. Fang Puyo außerhalb des Schreins ein.
When you reach out to grab Mr. Flobby, he suddenly attacks. Lower Mr. Flobby's stamina to calm him down.
Okay. Das scheint jetzt nicht gut zu sein.
Exhausted from the fight, the raging Mr. Flobby finally stops attacking. But it seems he hasn't yet come to his senses. He glares warily at your party. Find something to help return Mr. Flobby to normal.
Das kann ja nur das Taschentuch sein.
You wipe Mr. Flobby's mouth with the handkerchief you received from the girl. Then you hear a quiet voice speak. "That's not my mouth, Mr. Flop." It looks like the girl's familiar scent on the handkerchief returned him to normal. Having regained his senses, Mr. Flobby heads back to the village. You place the increasingly sticky handkerchief in your bag.
Lecker. Zurück zu Koexistenz.
Lappy approaches and tells you that Mr. Flobby has returned.
Ja, das wissen wir.
The girl is ecstatic that Mr. Flobby is finally back home. "I'm happy for you," Melanie says with a smile as she returns the handkerchief. The girl bows her head and thanks you deeply. Mr. Flobby looks as slimy as ever. You just hope it's a happy slime. The headman wants us to bring Mr. Flobby to him. Would you mind, you ask? Of course not. But bring him back soon. she answers with a bright smile.
Begib dich mit Puyo zum Bürgermeister von Koexistenz und erstatte ihm Bericht. Yeah, wir haben hier Puyo-Kartenrückseite.
I am so happy to see you safe and sound, the headman exclaims, giving Mr. You explain everything that happened, including the incident with Vince and the Ivory Order. He expresses his relief that the Order will be taking care of the criminal. He then thanks you for your hard work and instructs his stewardess to prepare dinner for your party. You can feel your collective mouths watering at the sight of the lavish meal before you. You, Mar, and Ridis immediately dig in. You aren't sure where you find a moment to breathe among all the feasting. Please, eat to your heart's content, the headman insists with a smile. Once your belly is full, you realize that Mr. Flobby is gone. And then... Room for dessert? The headman asks, offering you a plate of slimy jelly. You feel your stomach churning at the very sight of it.
Oh yeah.
The color strikes you as familiar, and the stickiness sends a shiver down your spine.
Okay.
Is this Mr. Flobby? You ask the headman, your voice trembling in disbelief. The headman looks at you with a plain expression, one that holds no malice. Is that a problem? He questions. This dish is a masterpiece, he remarks with a light-hearted chuckle as he gazes at the jelly. And I have you brave heroes to thank for it. Had you not brought that slime back, we would not be able to enjoy this exquisite dessert.
Aua. Wieso macht Yoko Taro so eine Dinge? Das ist doch echt... Oh Mann. Verlasse Koexistenz. Oh Mann.
You move to leave, but the headman stops you. I try to get my meat while it's still young and tender, but at least your pet is very plump, he remarks, licking his lips. He points at Mar and asks, would you consider leaving that creature here with me?
Wow. How about no?
Never, you refuse flatly, not bothering to hide your discomfort. Think about it, he entreats. And then... You grab the headman by his lapels, hands trembling in fury.
Er hat ja eh nur 10 HP.
You pummel the headman with all your might. Curled up on the ground, the headman groans in pain, but insists that monsters were meant to be eaten. You hug Mar tightly, reassuring him that you will not hand him over to anyone. Mar looks at you with his round eyes and mews softly. You meet eyes with the rest of your party and reach a tacit agreement. Together, you all stand and leave. As you are about to leave the headman's house, though, the old man suddenly charges at you from behind. But Mar, the keener of you two, is quick to block his path. With a crash, Mar and the headman tumble to the ground. From the headman's hand falls a small blade. It clatters to the ground, covered in blood.
Nee, ne? Wir hätten also unmoralisch das Geld kriegen können.
The injured Mar to an inn where you can watch over him.
Und jetzt ist er trotzdem nicht in der Party mehr, oder was?
You gaze at the unconscious Mar with concern. Despite the shallow wound, no amount of medicine seems to rouse Mar from the bed. I heard that my friends were in danger, so I came as quickly as I could, Lappy says. As he reaches Mar's bedside, he leans over and licks his wound. This is what-you-call-it extract, he shouts. He explains that it is a poison extracted from a certain monster. If it enters the body, it drastically reduces one's stamina. Hearing those words, you realize the headman's blade must have been coated in this poison. Mar's condition starts to make sense. Isn't there anything we can do? Melanie asks. Lappy's eyes widen in realization before he places his mouth over Mar's wound and begins sucking. He then puts the what-you-call-it extract into a bottle and hands it to you. Lappy says that if you follow the road south of the village, you will reach Shoreland. He tells you to give the extract to the famous nutritionist there. Realizing that you are at fault for this, you don't hesitate to undertake the quest. But this is strange. The extract comes from a monster, so it should have no effect on one, Lappy remarks with a curious tilt of his head.
Begib dich von Koexistenz aus über die Straße nach Süden zur Küstenstadt. Da du die Bedingungen erfüllt hast, wurde der Rückseitentext der Karte Bürgermeister hinzugefügt. Die Sau.
I thought a beast of that size would eat us out of house and home, she remarks, no doubt talking about Mar.
Wobei, gucken wir mal, ist hier irgendjemand, der leuchtet? Scheinbar nicht.